Hey everyone, this is Charles from Otaku Times. Just giving you an update here. Right now, update one. We will be doing pre-recorded updates and reviews because we lost our ability to stream on live chat. Apparently, trying to do a live review while watching One Piece got our live stream revoked for a bit. They say they will give it back to us. I did take down the video, but apparently we have to wait for an actual human being to review our channel to make sure the video is taken down. They gave us no community strikes, and no violations are recorded. So obviously this is a first-time warning. We were not, and hopefully soon they will be able to restore our chat again. Until then, here's the update. Updating the website. I got injured taking care of one of our cats, and unfortunately we're going to have to give her away because we just found out that prior to us getting her, she was neglected and by the previous owner, and the owner before that owner abused her. And we don't have the facilities in our home to do anything about it. We have 6, 7 other cats that we have to care for. So we're looking for a home for her now. The reason why the website didn't get all the necessary updates I promised is because I injured my hand putting her in the carrier to go. So at this point, I'm still going to keep my promise, but I'm going to have to push out that all week, since I also have a job interview working from home, doing remote Windows administration on Wednesday. I'm going to spread out the work and all the things I want to get done for the website, for our e-magazine, done by Friday. Since a lot of you, based on the statistics, a lot of you watch our stuff on Friday and over the weekend. So I think our production deadline for have everything available for all of you should be Friday. And our new production schedule, which I will have up, and we're going to actually, publicly let you guys see the production schedule on when videos, blog entries should be done by Friday, and up by Friday evening, and actually we'll set scheduled postings. So that way, so let's say today I'm working on 3 posts, they will still be released on Friday, and I'll just schedule the date they will go publish on Friday. That gives us all week to have someone else come in and edit them, look them over, and do it that way. Other things. So that was the website. The club space. Because we have not come up with the funding or the money right away to renovate the space, and the new thing is gaming tables. I was watching a YouTube video. I'm feeling really stoked about this. I have friends who do woodworking. I myself really want to do this, and I think our club space, we should actually build our gaming tables. There's a bunch of things that have to be done in this space. We have to change one of the doors because it has to open to the outside, not open in the way it is now. Emergency signs have to be put above both doors. The openings for getting the Battle Pack pods in are done, and 3 of the pods are in the room, but the back room needs to be cleaned out. I'm going to shoot a video later today and put it up after this video of what the space currently looks like, because it's going to go on the Patreon page where people can start buying their memberships. They can start getting offerings. I'm trying to have the Battletech and Red Planet offerings up today with their pricing. And hopefully I will work out what the membership fees to the Clubhouse should be. There are a couple examples I found out on YouTube of people doing what I did, building a Clubhouse, charging a membership fee for people to go in and use the paints and equipment. And we're not going to do the airbrushing. I talked to a friend, he's an expert airbrusher, and he's agreed that we could do the airbrushing in the summer outside in the backyard. It's just that airbrushing needs kind of an open space with very good ventilation. But we will have model paints. I have a small selection of model paints here, and as the space opens and as we collect revenue, I will have a collection of paint for painting models, and we're going to have classes on how to paint them. I'm trying to design the tables to be able to do Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer Star Wars Armada, TIE Fighter, Werewolf, Werewolf the Apocalypse, or Vampire the Masquerade, or any of these games, Shadowrun, right there on each table. So these are going to be multi-purpose gaming tables. So they'll be slightly different than the ones we had at our old store, Knight's Blade Gaming. They'll be square-like tables with a TV in the middle. This is our biggest accomplishment. Is I have to find how to get a flat screen TV at bulk, because then we'd be able to do actually pre-rendered maps for Dungeons and Dragons and whatnot on a screen. You can constantly change them as the game progresses. And I saw a guy do one table for $150, but he already had the TV. It was from his old gaming table, which he'd done. So we have the design. So I think at most, unless I can get a bulk order on the TVs, it depends on how many tables we plan to build, that the tables themselves will be a little bit over $150. The biggest expense would be the price of the flat screen TV that goes in the middle of the table. But I'll put links to this to the table design I'm looking at, and you guys can judge for yourself whether this would be a great thing to do. Because the guy literally did everything for about $150. I think that number is going to go up because buying the monitors. I mean, I'm going to head over to BJ's today and price out, based on the design he did, how big the table is, how big the TV should be, and see whether or not that I'm looking at current prices for the TVs. I'm looking at maybe plasma screens versus LCD screens. The LCD screens may not be as durable to have models put on top, or if they aren't, if we can't get anything with a durable screen where models and figurines can be put on top of them, we might put a plexiglass top on it, a very thin plexiglass top to protect the monitor. That would be a modification of the original blueprint. We'll see how it goes. I've been thinking about these things, and I've been thinking about a lot. So we have a volunteer. I had a vacant apartment. She needed cheaper rent, and it turns out she's an anime buff, and was willing to use her free time to volunteer if I knocked off some money on the rent. Volunteer, helping keeping this place open. So we have a couple of volunteers, but the other reason why we need money and we need funding is that I would like to pay staff. Right now, currently, we're scheduled to only be open from Fridays through Sunday. I think we can be open 7 days a week, except holidays. But that would be requiring not taking advantage of our volunteers and actually hiring staff. And that's what I want to go for. So we tried a GoFundMe campaign, and no one really donated. We had one donation, and thanks for the $100. That's great. And he's a personal friend of mine, so he didn't even want the money back. I offered him a couple of times to give it back, and he just doesn't want $100 back. So we're doing the Patreon page. It's up. I'm actually putting the offerings up as we speak. And there'll be promotions, and I'm trying to think of other promotions. Right now, I'm trying to get the room set up so I can do some of the artwork. And I'm going to have some original artwork that I think we want to do a couple, like some free posters, a pin. We need some artwork for the membership cards. The membership cards you will get for donating before the space is open will be special membership cards. So there'll be limited, I hate to say this, there'll be limited edition membership cards as soon as we can get the artwork done and how we want to do them. We'll most likely do them through Vistaprint, or if we, and the membership cards literally will be completely different. There'll be limited edition membership cards. We're going to figure out what the number is going to be, and those membership cards will only be for the first year it's open, and they'll be special. Just hold on to them. I really don't know where this is going. Maybe there'll be collector's items. I don't know. Other things is we have some people who want to rent out space on certain days for their New York City meetup groups. And I'm not going to mention names right now because they haven't committed because the space isn't done. But the space will be available for meetup groups. And if you don't know what meetup is, I'll put a link down under this video so you can go to meetup. But the two groups that have approached me already are looking for spaces to hold their meetings. And I do not mind renting out the space as long as they keep it clean for these meetings. especially if each meeting is once a week or once every other week. And that means we still have a block time. Fridays will probably be off limits because we're going to be doing Friday Night Magic, and then we're going to have to set aside one day for Adventure League. And those will be the two big events at the place. I'm not sure how this works out for a Clubhouse, since we're not a retail establishment, and I'm not even sure what deal I can work out with the creators of Warhammer Quest, because Games Workshop has deals for retail stores, and because we're not a retail store, I don't know if I can get figurines and stuff. At this point, if you want to buy stuff from us, I am completing and trying to finish up. There's a new Amazon affiliate network account, which means we're given an ID number and a code number and a user number, which we create links on Amazon's websites, and then we build it. They'll use those links to build the store. When you buy, we get less than, I think, 5% or 10% of whatever the total purchase is when you check out. The first time I did it, I didn't know we have 128 days to make 3 purchases in the store, or they close the account. So they closed down our old account, which was actually under my personal account. Which what I did on Monday was I actually created a new Amazon cloud going to Otaku Times email addresses, and it's going to a default email address that if someone other than me needs to manage it, they can manage it through that email address. So just for future, so we're separating things out now. That Otaku Times email addresses, logins are now all separate, so that I can actually give people things to do and disseminate work. Right now, it's just really me, Dave, who is just been a gaming monster, and really he's just sharing his gaming video, and he's helping me build my own capture systems here over at this place, so I can do my own captures of some of the games I've been playing. After my mistake with One Punch, there will be no live captures, no live reporting of anime that's actively going on, especially if it's a simulcast. We're not doing that. And that's just that. This is kind of hampering the things that we've been doing and trying to do on YouTube, and we can't do that right now. Other news. So on top of all that, the store is up, and I'm adding stuff to it. We're building out new links. Otaku Times most likely will be at Anime NYC. If the money comes through the way we think, we're going to have a table. And the table arrangement is we're going to have one section which will be a photo booth where we'll have a professional photographer. His name is Michael Watts. You're going to pay him. So we saw this at Anime Boston last year, and it's not being done here in New York. An attempt was done by Liberty City Con, but they kind of rushed it, and it wasn't planned out well. So we have a professional photographer who's been taking pictures for over 30 years. We have photo printers. And we're going to be giving you special USB keys. So here's the idea. If you're a cosplayer, you come down, get a professional picture taken with lighting. We'll have pricing for either, right now we only have, I think, a 3x5. We're going to try to get a photo printer that can do 8x11 at least, and a couple other sizes, so that you can pick the size of the picture you want. We'll have a price if you want a couple of shots, but you'll get a professional photo shoot by a professional photographer who's worked for, Michael works for Getty Image, he works for Shutterstock as special photographer, he currently works for Essence Magazine as the chief photographer for Essence Magazine, so he's a personal friend, and getting him to do, he loved doing the cosplay photos last year, just taking random ones, going with me to Otaku Con, he came with me to Anime Boston, he just had a ball. So right now he's all geared up and ready to do a whole arrangement of photos for cosplay. Going off cosplay, I have a sewing machine and sewing gear that I was keeping here for repairing my clothes, but it's been brought to my attention that some cosplayers want to learn to make costuming. I have a couple of friends who actually do that, and they've agreed to teach a class on how to do your cosplay and how to make cosplay costumes. So the Clubhouse is really forming together. I just need to get the space together. So for right now, because of what happened with the GoFundMe page, I'm only going to get Patreon up, and I'm going to leave that. If you all think I should do a Kickstarter or Indiegogo, I'm going to stay away from GoFundMe because apparently people have aversions to it. Kickstarter, I've actually donated a lot on Kickstarter over the years, so Kickstarter might be where I do it, and I don't get the money until the campaign ends when we do a Kickstarter. So either we're successful or we're not. But if that's what you all prefer, we'll do Kickstarter or Indiegogo. I heard a lot about Indiegogo, but a lot more tech companies, like me and my friend have a tech company, we might save Indiegogo for our tech options. As you see that if I get this work from home job, I'll be working here in the house where I'll have more time to do what I do. I mean, I'm still working 8 hours a day on that, but I don't have to leave the house or travel. Other things that I've been doing to my time is we are Otaku Times or Otaku Computer Guy, which is a variant of Otaku Times, is also doing web design. We're doing a tech blog. That tech blog is like helps, and I'm trying to do more stuff about helping you with your technology problems. Particularly, there seems to be a lack in real help for Mac issues, and I use a Mac. I also have a Linux machine and I have a PC, so I'm going to put some more stuff up like that. I've been in IT for 15 years, so these ideas are coming together. I'm going to try to do more video blogs. We're also set up, we got some microphones, we have cameras. We're setting up, once the house gets clean, to do a professional podcast. So we will give you a gaming podcast. For our Twitch channel, we will be doing a couple of live runs of D&D, especially since we've decided that it's probably a good idea to do a live run of D&D and Magic the Gathering for beginners. You know, there's a lot of recordings for pro players, but there are people who just want to learn to play the game and maybe go pro. So one of our biggest things right now is what we want to do is we want to set up a place where people can learn their hobbies and become a little bit more professional about it in a nice, safe environment. And that's my goal right now. This is what Otaku Times Clubhouse is going to be. Otaku Times started off really as an e-zine for me kind of doing what I want to do, and then it turned into a cultural magazine because people were asking me more about Japan and more about nerd culture. And now, even though I don't post all that often, I mean, yesterday's post, we got 25 views just from yesterday's few posts. And the number, we started off with only 5 followers, and now we're up to 64. And I thank you to the 64 people who are following both by the WordPress reader and also through email. I mean, thank you all. I know we only have 65 users, but again, that's astonishing for something that hasn't really gotten the dedication it's needed. It started off that I thought I was going to get a lot more help when I started, and then I didn't. And I was doing it by myself. And now, because the popularity is going up and the Clubhouse is being built, and it's just starting to turn into something new. Originally, the space that we're using was an office space me and my wife were going to rent out for about $2,000, $3,000 a month to some doctor. And we were really wary about doing and giving the space over to something like this because there's no guarantee we'd make money, and we have to pay for the buildings. Like the property tax on one of the buildings is just like $9,000 a year. That's a lot, and we live in New York. But we're taking a chance. We're taking a risk here doing this. So, I mean, the Battletech pods alone cost us over $40,000. That's not counting what it costs us to finally get them back to New York. I really want to do this. The feedback that I've gotten privately, people talking to me on the street, and people who have sent me instant messaging and private messages, it's just the feedback's really incredible from all of you and everyone in the community about what it is we're trying to do, especially here in New York with how much everything is. And the fact that we have a building, we have a space, and the buildings department has given us permission to use the space as we want it, which was the biggest accomplishment that we have so far. So I just want to again say thank you to everyone. Please talk in the comments. like the video, subscribe to the channel. There will be more. I can't promise you every week there'll be more. I can't promise you every month there'll be more. But right now, we're setting up and we're preparing, and hopefully by the end of the year, the Clubhouse will be done and there'll be a lot more material, especially since we're going to be filming in the Clubhouse. And we're setting up my house to be filming in. The new IT room is almost done. There will be a load balancer. Oh, game hosting. Right now, I've created some servers in Amazon the cloud, and I just found out that Amazon has what they call Amazon Gaming Tech, which actually you can create your game servers there. I've been watching the videos on how to do it, and the thing about it is, right now, price-wise, because I have my own network here in the house, and I have a few servers downstairs that just need a few parts yet. They're servers I built and I've taken back from clients. My friend has taken back from clients that we can't use anymore because they're too old, but they can definitely be used for game hosting and stuff like that. So even though I could have up the dedicated gaming service for you guys through Amazon Gaming Tech really, really quickly, I am really going to say that because I have solar panels, I don't have to work. Electricity is really not an issue. Cooling might be an issue. I'm right now working on how to completely keep that room cool. And once I've done that, and once as you can see behind me over this shoulder, that my modems, my router, my firewall, my primary switch are up here. All of those cables have to be moved downstairs to the new data center. And you know what? I'll send you pictures of the new data center. I have a production cabinet is where the production servers are going to go. And then I have a lab cabinet and a full network rack for the routing equipment. Routing, firewalls, routing. I'm actually going to build an open source load balancer. The firewall technically can do the load balancing, but I think I want to dedicate CPU cycles just to load balancing. Because of I've been watching a couple of videos on performance on dedicated game servers, and we're going to have a couple streams on it. The other things that's going to be in here so we earn some more money is there'll be a couple of there'll be one or two data mining servers, basically virtual data mining servers. So there'll be more than one type of digital currency being mined on the servers. Yes, Bitcoin will be there, but Bitcoin is, I'm not going to say Bitcoin is falling behind, but there are other digital currencies, and I'm going to set up at least one mining server that's dedicated with the GPUs and the time to just mine, and that one system. So that's going to require some dedicated networking. So the primary switch you see, I hate that. The primary switch you see back here is going to be switched out for a Unify. I'm going to have 3 unified 24 port switches, 3 of them. One for iSCSI targets, so I'll be doing iSCSI with storage here, and the storage will be connect to the the Linux KVM virtual servers. Maybe I actually found out, I went into my VMware account and I found out I still have some private licensing that I own for virtual servers, so there might be a VMware box, but right now, my friends turned me on to KVM Linux and using OpenNebula, and I really want to master that. But if it comes down to speed and getting it up, then I'll build out a couple of virtual VMware servers, a couple of vSphere boxes, and we'll spin up the gaming servers on that. I just have to get the NAS up first so they have their storage. This way, even if I lose one of the virtual boxes, I won't lose the VMs because the VMs will just be on the storage, and I just have to reconnect the storage to a new VMware server. So I can lose the main host server, throw it away, put a new host server in, just reattach the volumes, reattach the machines because they're on separate disks. We won't keep anything physically located on the server disk. And then I just have to figure out how to optimize a virtual environment for gaming. which seems to be what a lot of people are doing. This is why you can have multiple gaming servers, and I'll go over a list later when I get closer to building it out. Right now, we're still finishing up the wiring for all the electrical, and then I have to at least get some more cooling into the room, and I have to get the uninterrupted power supplies with the batteries, so that in case we do lose power, which I doubt because we're on solar panels as well, this house is on solar panels, but just in case, they still need, each cabinet will have, each cabinet and the rack will have a backup battery in them, and I need to spread out the load amongst those amongst the UPSs. Again, we're building a data center here, so hopefully by the end of the summer there'll be some dedicated gaming servers, and you guys can review us. Review like hell if you like our gaming servers. My goal is to get high performing servers with fewer lag. Now there are things I can't control. Like if you are on a client machine, you're connecting to my server, and you are just at some point, I don't know, running Chrome in the back while you play a game or something else. You're not giving the GPU and your CPU the necessary cycles. And if you don't have a decent GPU and you're running, and the CPU is taking the bulk of your game rendering, this is going to be a problem. And this is something I'm going to go over and discuss with PC gaming designs, where, if you're going to be doing gaming, your graphics should really be handled totally by the GPU and should not be sharing memory with the RAM on the computer, except in situations you can't control. These are some things you have to think about, and this would, and then of course your NIC cards. It shouldn't be, because every new machine is sold with at least a 1 gigabyte card in it. But if you connect that 1 gigabyte card to a 100 meg switch, even at full auto, you're only going to get 100 megs. Each port which have to be at least 1,000 megs, which is 1 gig. So if you're not using a 1 gig switch, it's going to be a problem. And then again, your gateway connection, your router, and you really should be using a firewall. We'll discuss how to protect your networks. In my house, we're now doing VLANing right now because I'm switching everything out for managed switches, and I'm going to put the load of the VLANs onto the firewall and trunk that down to the switches. The production environment, of course, will be on a separate VLAN. My personal computer and my wife's computer and any other computers and printers that are for our use will be on a separate VLAN. Just in case, the web servers, the host servers will be in a DMZ. Because those things have to be out forward to the network. And this is kind of expensive, shouldn't even say this in a video, but I might even put a small honeypot in between my actual environment and what's out there, just in case if someone does get in, they hit the honeypot. It will look exactly like the environment. I can isolate you, and then, well, I'll take care of you at that point. You might not like what I do if you get caught in my honeypot. Other than that, I also have to start thinking about the other reason why for the load balancer is I want to start designing services for DOS attacks. Apparently, I've been looking at a lot of guys who built these great gaming servers, and their competition actually started doing DOS attacks against them to get their users to go to their servers. And I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I personally would like to have the higher performing servers. And it's been a while since I've done gaming servers. Yeah, I know. Not since I worked at Web2Zone have I done live gaming servers in a gaming cyber cafe, and now I'm saying, hey, I'm going to do it. Unfortunately, most of the stuff runs on Windows, so the things that I can run on Linux, like Counter-Strike will run there. Counter-Strike, Team Fortress will run on my Linux boxes. Unreal Tournament, I think, is now running on Linux. Definitely, everyone wants me to run some Ultima servers. Again, I was with a company that we ran our own Ultima servers with our own storylines, and it was our own little world. We will continue to do that, and that's something I'm looking at. I started drafting up some of my own stories in my own little world, so I may use Run RU, Run UO, um, for creating my own world. I'm going to see about recompiling that compiler and maybe putting it even in my own bitmaps and stuff like that to make it a little bit more unique. I mean, there's a lot going on here, and I am doing this by myself with the occasional help from a volunteer and stuff like that. But the server environment right now is all me, as well as the networking. And right now, I'm like doing something like this. I am brushing up on my network skills, and this video is now almost 30 minutes long. I will still put it up. You guys can watch it. Thank you. The next video I'll put up is I'm going to go over to the new club space and update you guys on what actually is going on. I think you guys need to see it. But again, please comment below. And if you guys want us to do a Kickstarter, we will. I mean, we're trying our best. We do have a lot of video from us bringing the Battletech pods back to New York. If you want those uploaded so you can see the stupid journey we took. We flew from New York out to Minneapolis, drove back some 2 18-wheeler trucks to bring 8 pods back to New York. We did this. It was fun. We had some stupid times. We drove 18 hours straight with only 2 hours to sleep. But we did it. And then I want to talk more about Battletech, but I'll do it in the other video and when I get across the street. But thanks, guys. Please. And thanks for everyone who's been supporting us. Bye.